In this section, we will be exploring game definitions and types of game. This will be explored in more depth later in the course. As briefly touched upon in the previous video, what unifies games is that it is the player who navigates their way through the game. Let's explore further the definition of video games. Games are interactive digital entertainment played on a computer, games console, or other device. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary describes a video game as an electronic game in which players control images on a video screen. The Art of Game Design, a book of lenses by Jesse Schell, defines a game as a game is a problem-solving activity approached with a playful attitude. We can paraphrase this slightly to apply solely to video games. A video game is a problem-solving activity approached with a playful attitude that is interacted with via a computer. It is this crucial aspect of interaction and choice that separates games from the other mediums. Players are creating their own stories by interacting with the game. Play a game twice, or dozens of times, and you're unlikely to have the same experience. In some cases, you'll have a completely different experience. A player's experience of the game is linked directly to the choices they make. Crucially though, it is the realm of possibilities set out by the story creator that enable the player to experience the game or the story. Now that we've explored what a game is, broadly speaking, let's get an overview of the types of video games. First of all, let's consider the fact that video games can be played on different devices, each of which have their own methods of gameplay that shape the gaming experience. These include console, so that's PlayStation or Nintendo Wii, etc. Desktop, i.e. PC, Mac or Linux. Virtual reality, and tablet and mobile. Let us also consider that video games can be single player or multiplayer. This too will shape how the story is constructed by the story creator, you, and experienced by the player. There are a whole host of game categories out there. For example, 2D platformers, FPS or first-person shooter, tycoon, simulation, puzzle, sport, strategy, casual, sandbox, and many, many more. Notably, many games won't sit comfortably in a single category. Think about how wide-ranging games can be. At one end of this gaming spectrum, there are puzzle games like Candy Crush, simple but addictive. At the other, massive open worlds like World of Warcraft, and a whole host of game types and formats in between. If you're not familiar with these games, I recommend you go and look them up. In terms of story, each category or format needs to be approached with an awareness of the convention and expectations in order to make a cohesive and compelling game narrative. We'll explore different types of game in more depth later in the course. The next video introduces game mechanics.